OC, how did you know that Parsons was going to be able to rush the passer as well as he did? You're the only person I've ever seen to ever say that Micah Parsons could be a put his hand down guy. So I need that question answered.
The OC.
And Boss Chauvin. Jake Ferguson paid. Oh my God. Are you serious? Boss, you know I ain't gonna sit back, bro. I'm independent. I'm gonna say what I gotta say.
Like, we must have got a guard. That's the only thing that would have made him do that. That's it.
He know.
He know. Cause he been watching Twitter, man.
Yeah, so look like Jerry had a response.
I was shocked.
They said pay Micah now. He said, I got something for you. He said, I got something for you.
My reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Hey.
Yeah, man. Welcome to Boss.
Boss, show me.
Yup. And I will. Let's go. Yeah, we gotta talk about this. Cause it's a lot that's on the line with this. And everybody ain't gonna speak real about this. This is a test of your independence. I'ma pass.
Shot it. Fight for, see, that's how to go out. Don't go out, just sit back. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna take Matthew Golden. No, fight for, you want it physical. You said you want it physical. Fight for it.
Let's go. Your boy Boss got you. I ain't gonna sell out. Nope. Ain't no selling out, baby. Is your team really first?
Oh my God.
Somebody else said
It's
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
I gotta say, man, I'm disappointed in Dallas. Like, I'm disappointed in Jerry. I'm disappointed in Steven. And it's sad because Jake Ferguson got a lot of potential, got a lot of upside. But this sends the wrong message. The timing is absolutely wrong on this. I mean, the pads ain't even come on yet, and you done ran to pay Jake Ferguson. And you did it after throwing Steele under the bus and Diggs under the bus. How can you be a real man and sit back and not even acknowledge that there's a conflict of messaging going on in Dallas right now? And I got questions. We're gonna talk about every one of them today. My first question is, how does Micah feel? My second question is, how does Diggs feel? My third question is, how does Steele feel? I'm gonna talk about why now. Yeah, we're gonna talk about a deep tight end room and you did this. And then we go also talk about, does Dallas have a racial bias issue? Somebody called in. No, they said, do you think the white players are treated different in Dallas than the black players? We just had a show. And I said, let me handle that question and let's just go down a line. Let's go down a line and let's just ask some honest questions. So I said, was Romo ever used as leverage against other players? Like when they was trying to say, should we pay Micah? And they start talking about Dak and his injuries. But we both know Romo was way more injury prone, but he was never used as leverage against another player. His name was never smeared. Zach Martin, he skipped the line. He skipped Steele. He skipped Diggs. He skipped Micah. He skipped, literally, CeeDee Lamb, Dak. He skipped all of them. His name was never smeared. His name was never mentioned in a light of disrespect. Fredericks, never. So some people say Zach Martin had to hold out. Yeah, he had to hold out. But when he held out, he wasn't boxed on. He wasn't treated like an enemy of the state. He wasn't. So Zach Martin never was used as leverage. Romo never was used as leverage. Frederick was never used as leverage. Witten was never used as leverage when he was old. Sean Lee, super injury prone. They never spoke about him in the media about should I have paid them. So how can I be honest and not recognize that when you got a particular color, it's easy. It seems to be very easy for the Cowboys to just throw you out there in the public in a negative light. But when you a person of the lighter hue, the pattern clearly says that you don't get treated like that. So I gotta say, man, how's this good for morale? How? Let me turn on my comments real quick. Make sure I got my comments on. Y'all give me 1 second. And I'm gonna talk about this from a lot of different angles, man. So like, listen, you know, let me just tell y'all straight up, man. I'm gonna talk this from a racial issue first. Then I'm gonna talk about this from just football and all of it. I'm gonna talk about it from all of it. But I first want to talk to my black brothers and sisters and say this. You cannot let people gaslight you. See, some kind of way it has become taboo to discuss racial bias. And they got us like we ain't supposed to talk about it. They literally tell people stuff like, oh man, the 3 things I don't discuss is race, politics, and religion. Well, all 3 of those is like extremely important. Like, your eternal security is important, religion. Race has been a major problem in this country for years. For years, you know? And politics, that affects your future. So, you avoid those issues? Nah. And see, let me tell you something. It's too many of us that like apologize for discussing race. We say stuff like, man, forgive me for playing a race card. Bro, when you even talk like that, you already in a subservient position, you know? And you putting people in a position to continue to get over on you. You know, when you apologizing for having a discussion when you the one being wrong. Like my boy D.A. Lee said, he said for generations. Right. Yeah. Yeah, and see, yeah, everybody got questions, bro. You listen, bro, everybody, bro, we got to talk about this. And listen, I'm not finna tiptoe around nothing. My boy said Ferg had his worst season of his career and got paid. And the saddest part, we like Ferg. That's the saddest part. DMV love Ferg. I love Ferg coming out the draft. I did. I put Ferg on my thumbnail. I said Ferg was a baby Witten before we drafted him. So this, and it's sad because even Ferg, as good as he is, it's hard to even celebrate because Jerry and them do goofy. Listen, man. You can't listen, y'all. Let's just keep it all the way real. Let's start with my first question. How does Micah feel? Come on now. How does Micah feel, bruh? And we starting the season with this? And listen, man, don't come to me with them pom-poms, bro. Don't come to me trying to spin this. Don't come to me when we watching our team talk about our best players and then run to go pay a player that was injured and on an off year and all of that. And then we supposed to sit back and not say nothing? Oh, no, bro. No, you can't spit in my face and be like, oh, no, man, that ain't spit, man. That's, that ain't spit. That was just water, boss. Boss, no, let me show you. Your name is Boss. Show me. That wasn't spit. Let me show you. That was water. No, you spit in his face. You spit in Diggs' face. You spit in Steele's face. And Steele didn't say nothing. And you spit in that man's face. And you made it, and you literally came out and said, was it worth it to pay that man? And you ran and paid a man that it wasn't worth it. All right, so let's talk about this, man. Let me first show that real quick. Look at this.
Dallas Morning News. Jerry kind of just talked about, the things that can happen before a contract's up, and that's why you kind of wait for it a little bit. You've done deals, though, early with Trayvon Diggs, with Terrence Steele before it was time for it. What's the difference between those situations and a situation like CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons?
Frankly, should we have waited on Diggs and Steele?
Spit. Right in their face. He lugged that thing up too. He lugged it up. Got his whole throat. Said twice, frankly, he geared up to spit.
Should we have waited on Diggs and Steele? Should we have waited on Diggs and Steele?
Difference between those situations and a situation like CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons?
Frankly,
lugged that thing up.
Frankly, should we have waited on Diggs and Steele? Oh, you brought him up. I didn't.
I mean, there's no way to say it, man. Ain't nobody better, man. Nobody better at, just pissing on morale. He is the best. I just did a fire show about how my boy Brian Schottenheimer is hitting all the notes. Literally hitting all the notes. For people that want that competition culture against our guys, he hit that note. For people that wanted the motion, he hit that note. For the people that wanted the physical camps, he hit that note. He hitting all the key notes in some kind of way. Jerry just know how to still come in and just put his whole... You can't blame coaches and players in this environment, man. So let's talk. So this is the thing. Right after he loogied up and spit on Steele and loogied up and spit on Diggs, right? Right after he just he loogied that thing up, and matter of fact, he pulled his whole pants down and he right after you did that, Steven actually came in and he talked about the real business. So this is Steven talking about what's really going on. Jerry used them as a moment to get publicity on his own guys, the colored guys too. See, notice that they usually getting that cheap publicity on the men of color. Now watch this. This is Steve, and now Steve talk business. Let me show you. Y'all give me a second.
Well, the other thing is the willingness.
So this is likely what happened with Ferg. So Steven just threw everybody under the bus right after he said, literally right after he said, you brought him up, not me, right? This is Steven. Steven go actually talk business. Listen.
Jerry, I was just curious, because you know how these headlines can blow up. You said you don't always talk to the principals. In other words, David Mugoletta, Micah Parsons' agent. Why have you not spoken to him more directly the way you have Todd France or David Cantor in the past?
Jerry didn't speak to Todd France.
Okay.
And Jerry, as he said, doesn't speak to many agents. I do.
So what is your relationship with Mugoletta been so far?
We've always had a good relationship with Mugoletta.
What would you say?
And specifically, Adam speaks to the agents as well. So, but Jerry's typically, whether it's a coach or a player, speaks directly to the principal.
And I don't talk to the attorneys and all of the other stuff that goes on,
you
too.
have players who
really wouldn't be time for everything if you did that. So,
Hold on real quick. I messed up. Let me go back.
Side, hey, I'm willing to wait. And I'm going to wait on bigger numbers.
There we go. That's what I was waiting on. I had it wrong, y'all. Here we go.
You have players who are...
That's what I needed. Here we go. Boss got you, man. Trust me. Boss is going to show you, bro.
Well, the other thing is the willingness.
So this is right after he threw Steele and Diggs under the bus. So Steven came in and he talked about the business side. Now listen. I'm gonna really explain this.
Well, the other thing is the willingness. You have players who are, who decide, hey, I'm willing to wait. And I'm going to wait on bigger numbers. And then you got other players who want to be more conservative and say, hey, I'd like to have my money now.
So let's pause and let's measure this Kool-Aid, okay? I'm gonna be fair about this. What he's saying basically is if you want to take a team-friendly deal and you want to take a discount and you want your money now, they're gonna mess around and do it. But if you want to fight for your value, it's gonna be a fight. So notice that La'el Collins ran to get his money. Y'all remember that? Team friendly. When he got paid, he was team friendly. He ran to get his money. Because, and let me tell you, the players that usually run to get their money are the more questionable players. Usually the players that don't fight for every dollar are players that had some type of tragedy in the past. So Jalen Smith was another one, right? He was team friendly. He ran to get his money, right? But also remember, he was a former top 5 projection. So when you went to the second round, but was projected to go in the first round, top 5, Jalen Smith, you experienced massive loss before. So you not go sit back and have the resolve of a CeeDee Lamb, of a Dak Prescott, of a Micah, who was willing to sit and fight for their money. So he ran too. Yeah. Steele also ran to a team-friendly deal. So when Steven talking about willingness, he telling the truth right there. He telling the truth. And that goes to what really likely happened with Ferguson. Ferguson knew he was coming off a down year. Ferguson knew he was coming off a concussion. Ferguson knew that he was coming off a bad knee. And he ran to get his money. What I expected your front office to do was be smart enough to say, show me. Now, you got to give me an up year. I'm not paying you on no down year. No, I'm not paying you on no down year, especially it's bars in the room that's on your heels. We drafted a second round guy that's going into year 3. You got to show me. I know you want a deal. I know you want to get your money now. But now we have to wait and see. And so we got to sit back and ask a question. When it was Dak Prescott and when it was CD Lamb and Micah, Jerry was sitting up there saying, I might need to play option quarterback and see if there are some more leaves that need to fall. This was the definition of seeing if some leaves need to fall. Yeah, what if a leaf arise that Brevin Spann or Luke actually better? What if that leaf fall? You didn't want to wait to see that? Yeah, you didn't want to wait. You literally got a valued second round guy that's getting better. The reports have been good at training camp. The reports have been good on Brevin. So with CD Lamb, let's sit back and see how many leaves are gonna fall. But it show you how they think. I'm just being honest. See, this is why, and I'm being honest, I call Jerry and them reverse cheap. They are reverse cheap, man. So they'll run to a deal that's suspect as long as it's gonna be way under market value. And I've been telling y'all, you better watch Dallas. And I'm telling y'all, I've been on the pulse of the Dallas Cowboys. I've been on the pulse. I've been telling y'all the most scary is risk. I've been telling y'all this. Is protecting Brian's culture. I've been saying that. So let's talk about this from culture. I'm going to ask you a question. Let's use our common sense. What does this do to the message that Brian been preaching about having to earn it and compete every day? What does that do to the competitive environment that Brian Schottenheimer spent months watering? What does that do? This was the Dallas Cowboys' opportunity to show that they have Brian's culture back and that they are for competition. But running out there to pay Ferg before the pads even came on is the opposite message. It basically is a signal again that they're favoring their guys.
That's the most important thing is if you pick them, you got to use them.
How can Brian, if you pick them, you got to use them. That's what we're looking at again, y'all. This is our guys. They rush to pay their guys. How can Brian Schottenheimer coach in this environment? How can you spend all those months preaching competition and your front office basically throw cold water on that? We got us a super chat real quick. Let me change the vibe real quick. I got to change the vibe. Let me change the vibe. Especially when I get a super chat. I love stuff. Hey, let's read this like a bouncing ball. Y'all remember they used to have that, some of y'all, no, you had to be raised up on regular television. You remember that bouncing ball on Sesame Street? This move killed Kump in the tight end room. We said this would happen though. Hold on real quick. I gotta show the whole comment. And we got a super chat from my brother Keystone. Oh Lord have mercy. Hold on real quick. Let me read this. Appreciate the super chats. She said, this move killed Kump in the tight end room. We said this would happen though. We said Ferg would be protected by front office. And then Keystone said, just when we thought putting Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor would break the curse. Nah, the front office is the curse. Ooh, Keystone. Keystone. Let me show my boy comment. Take it easy on my back.
Take it easy on my back.
Mr. Nasty.
Mr. Nasty time.
Damn. Somebody say Micah deal would definitely get done. If not, it's going to be a bad year. Yeah, Micah deal getting done, bro. He getting done. But let me go back. Let's go back. Let's go back to what Star said. Clap it up for Star and Keystone. Clap it up. Oh, clap it up. Clap it up. All right. So I was telling everybody, man, the most important thing is to protect Brian's culture of competition. You know, and I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna go look at what my content creators, brothers, are saying and sisters. I have a feeling some of y'all gonna be tap dancing. I have a feeling it's gonna be some massive tap dance. It's gonna be some scrambling to try to make this positive. It's gonna be some scrambling. It's gonna be some. Nah, bro. Listen. I told y'all I said this before camp started. I said this is gonna be my most important video, and I was right. I said protect Brian's culture of competition. And see, oh, Angie is back. Oh, my girl is back. Oh shit. Oh, it's over for the whole world. Hold on, hey, when Angie come back, it is over. Yep. She said, might as well pay Overshawn now too. But see, going back to the, and see, Angie the one that started the campaign, let Brian cook. This is not letting Brian cook. Yeah. And my boy said, I'm not tap dancing. I'm mad that they doing Bland wrong. Bro. Ooh, man, y'all going hard with these super chats. This is real. Stephen Jones just watered Shotty's culture with urine. Take it easy on my back.
Take it easy on my back.
Oh, man, yep. He pissed all on it, bro. This move pissed on the competition, the culture competition. Yes, it pissed on it. It said, shut up, Brian. Listen, and they did it before. Let me show you where they did it before. Hold on, let me show you. Hold on, where is it? I got it right here. Is this it? Yeah, it's right here. Hold on, let me make sure. Look, I got it right here. You know Boss got you. Watch this.
Nick Harris, Forward Star Telegram. First one's for Brian. You said in Florida that no jobs are being given out on this team. Tyler Booker.
You said no job would be given out.
Is it as easy as throwing him in the right guard competition, or is this kind of a call to the entire offensive line that things could be changed?
Yeah, our motto is compete every day, and that doesn't matter whether you're Dak Prescott.
Look at Steve in body language. They don't like. I've been telling y'all they don't like this competition thing. I'm telling you, they don't want it for, bro. They want to favor their guys. They want to favor their drafted guys. See, Boss be on the post. Boss is Nick. Now Boss be having his finger on the post. For real.
Micah Parsons, it doesn't matter. But when you see the traits that this young man has, he's going to come in, he's going to compete for it. And from every stop.
Look at Steven. Just look. But that ain't like, man, look.
Playing in high school, going to IMG, going to Alabama, he's always found his way.
If you can read body language, what would this body language say?
Into the starting lineup. And again, I'm not just excited about the player. I'm extremely excited about the person.
So you notice Jerry started talking right then. So Brian was talking about competition and ain't nobody gonna be giving it. Everybody gotta earn it. Jerry immediately started talking. Watch this.
You have to make a decision.
Now, and then I already did this. Notice, I want y'all to notice Brian has no water in that bottle. And when Jerry started talking, I see you super chat, Darren. I got you. Watch you.
When you're paying them, how they're going to compete.
Look at Brian. Look at Brian. He like, oh shit. What you finna say, bro? Listen, all the men who got women, how do you act when somebody approach your woman and both y'all in the club? What don't you give them that same look Brian doing? Like this look. Yeah, when somebody because you know the dudes don't know she with you. You know what I mean? You stepped away. You stepped away, right? So when you stepped away, somebody came to shoot they shot, and you trying to give them that signal like, what you doing, big dog? That was the look. That was the look, bro. What you finna say about the core value? Look,
Pete. For the spot.
Then he grabbed a bottle that's empty. Untwist the empty bottle.
So when you
takes a swig of no water. Bro. This is goofy as hell, man.
Make a commitment of a first round pick, or you make a commitment of a certain salary, you do want competition.
So basically you do want competition, but then he finna kill it with the butt.
Okay, but you're betting the house that you've got your winner.
Now let me play the whole thing uninterrupted.
You have to make a decision when you're paying them how they're going to compete for the spot. So when you make a commitment of a first round pick, or you make a commitment of a certain salary, you do want competition.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, but you're betting the house that you've got your winner in any kind of competition out there. Just logic.
So, if we go with what Jerry just said, right? That, yeah, it's competition, but when you draft a player or when you pay a player, you're betting the house that you got your guy. So if we just use his own words, what does that mean about competition right now in the tight end room? What just happened? If we use Jerry, matter of fact, I'm gonna play Jerry with the B-roll of Ferguson.
Football, you have to make a decision when you're paying them how they're going to compete for the spot. So when you make a commitment of a first-round pick or you make a commitment of a certain salary, you do want competition, okay? But you're betting the house that you've got your winner in any kind of competition out there. Just logic.
So he basically, out his own words, said that, one more time.
But you're betting the house that you've got your winner.
You betting the house.
Okay, but you're betting the house that you've got your winner.
Mm-hmm. Which is opposite of what Shotty was trying to do. Listen, y'all, don't blame Mike McCarthy. Don't blame Brian Schottenheimer. Don't blame Jason Garrett. Stop all that. Don't blame Dan Quinn, because we all ran out there. Dan Quinn, he didn't like them itty-bitty linebackers. Then Bobby Wagner came out and said he was actually trying to get me for 2 years. Steven in front office blocked it for LVE. Our guy. Yeah. Just stop blaming the coaches, bro. Cause see, listen, we watched Brian do an excellent job of like really preaching the message of competition. And front office just sabotaged them. They did, bro. So I'm gonna say a couple of more things. The why now didn't make sense. I understand you paying Ferg, but not, matter of fact, I don't. Let me also say this. I want to talk about tight end. Did y'all notice when Marcus Mosher came? He came on DC Universe. You know the first thing I did? I went at him over his opinions on running back. And I said, man, I know your opinions on running back. I said, but I see a lot of heat on running back. I don't see your same heat on tight end. And a tight end track record is worse. Let me go to these super chats because y'all really starting to lay them in here. So let me go back to these super chats. But I got to go back to talk. I'm going to talk about this tight end as a position. Hold on. He say dumb overreaction is losing Schultz and seeing him happy with his new boo. I don't understand what that means. You got to kind of elaborate on that. Then he said Dallas front office is like that baby that pops that diaper after you get them dressed and ready to go. Then you don't even feel like you got going out anymore. Ooh, man. Damn, that's a good metaphor. They will kill the first day of pads. They would just hold on. They would just. And then Darren said, he said, true definition of putting your feelings into business decisions. Yeah, so those the super chats caught up now. Going back to tight end. It's a reason why I campaign against tight end. Now, I'm not of the opinion that you never draft tight ends in the first round. I'm not of that opinion. There are exceptions to every rule. Okay. There are there's like, I was talking to Marcus. I was like, Marcus was like, I'm a stand on you. You shouldn't draft running backs in the first round. It's like, no. It's exceptions to that. You don't see Saquon and say, but he's a running back. You don't see the second coming of Barry Sanders and say, but he's a running back. You don't see Zeke and say, but he's a running back. You don't see Bowers and say, but he's a tight end. You don't see Pitts and say, but he's a tight end. But let's keep it real about tight end. Let's keep it real about your history of tight end in Dallas. Every tight end one has been successfully processed in and out with no problems. Literally, ever since Witten, we have successfully transferred a tight end one in and out pretty seamlessly with no problem. So we went from Witten to who? Hold on, let me see. I might have, I know the history. Let me just go through it in my head. We went from Witten to Swam. Swam had almost the exact same production as Witten in his latter years. Swam, who was undrafted. Then Swam went on. Oh, he say show that tight end graphic. All right. See, this is my dog. Listen, this is day one too. I listen to my day ones, my executives. I listen to y'all. My boy say, nah, go show it, boss. Take your time and go get that B-roll. All right, let me go get it. Y'all gonna have to be patient though. I gotta find it. Hold on real quick. Cause I gotta show y'all this, bro. It's crazy, bro. We have transitions with no problem every tight end. That's why, to me, you only pay tight ends when they are exceptional, bro. You don't pay good tight ends. You pay great tight ends, bro. Because you have successfully transitioned each one with no problem with late round guys. Hold on, I'm waiting on it. But while I'm waiting on that B-roll, because I put it in the search. Hold on, I might have found it. Ooh, see, I got it. See, I would listen. This because of you, bro. See, you the one told me to be patient. Yeah, and I was patient. So my boy C said, "Now show him the graphic." My dog, I got the graphic for you, C. And C is a day one. C was in here when it was 20 people up in here. It wasn't even 20. C was here. C was here from the beginning, dog. All right, so let's go. So I got the graphic. My dog, C. You said be patient. I got you. So, Jason Witten, mid-round pick, right? Great career. He was then successfully transitioned to Swam, who was he was a 7-round pick. I said undrafted. I'm sorry, got my facts wrong. 7-round pick. But he became tight end 1. Right? No problem. And see, my boy, listen, and I'm with you on this, see? He said that graphic made me never want to pay tight ends unless he's a super duper beast. Exactly. That's exactly how they should have did this. Exactly. So when you look at the transition, then it went to a 7-round Swam with no drop off. Then it went to undrafted Jarwin. And no drop off. Then he suddenly got hurt. It went to Schultz, a 4th-round pick, and it kept rolling. Your tight ends 1 kept rolling. They overpaid for him and tagged him. They shouldn't have. We was panicking about losing him, and I was saying the whole time, bro, I'm not worried about losing no hot pocket tight end. Then it went to Ferg with no problem. No problem. We have successfully every time transitioned to a new tight end one with no problem. So the theory that you never pay running backs really should be on tight end in Dallas, unless they super exceptional. And there's nothing about Ferg yet that has been super exceptional. Is he a dog? Absolutely. Is he a favorite? Absolutely. Do he play football the right way? Yes. Is he tough? Yes. At his best, do we wish we had more people with his mentality? Yes. Is he a super athlete and not replaceable?
Oh, hell no! No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Yeah. So you can't look at your own history of tight end ones and then try to make it make sense that they ran to go pay Schultz. Not Schultz, Ferg. You can't look at your own history. This is why I was never panicking about tight end one. And then again, it's even worse because you had guys that was on Ferg neck. All right. So I'm almost finished with this, man, giving y'all my thoughts. The last thing, man. The last thing, bro. Is the insult, bro. That's what I want to finish with. This is insulting, bro. Hold on real quick. I disagree with this comment. Hold on real quick. Oh, my boy Sidney said with a super chat. He said Ferg got a higher ceiling than the other guys. No, he don't. Ferg's ceiling is way lower. No, his ceiling lower. He a better football player right now than the other dudes, but his ceiling is much lower. Ferg is not an athlete. Ferg, I think, ran like a 4.8, man. Versus Schoonmaker had a RAS score that was equal to Pitts. That's an upside. That's a real upside too. Then ain't nobody on your team a bigger freak than Span. Span is the freakiest athlete. Yeah. The freakiest athlete is Schoonmaker and Span. Both of them had much higher ceilings than Ferg. Because we talking about ceilings, potential. Yeah, Ferg is not as fast as Schoon. He's not as athletic as Schoon. No, he not. It don't make sense, bro. You say Schoon don't translate on the field? I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think you reaching, bro, to try to justify this. Because Schoon didn't have no bad year last year, bro. Schoon didn't drop no balls last year, bro. Schoon had a good year last year. I did a whole show where I said Schoon closed the gap on Ferguson. He did. Ferg ran a 4.84. Man, that ain't no upside. Ain't nobody scared of no 4.8, bro. I'm just keeping it real, bro. Tight ends, nah, bro. You shouldn't pay them generally. Generally. You shouldn't pay them, bro. But when we spend all our energy campaigning against running back, we give them a pass. Because we We put our nose up at running back. Ew, you never pay those guys. The whole time, average ass tight ends be just under the radar getting bags. Year in and year out. Every year they go always draft. Literally every year they're gonna always overdraft the tight end. And nobody ain't gonna say shit. Every year. It happens every year, bro. Every year. And then once every 20 years, you'll get a Bowers. Once every 20 years, you'll get a Bowers. Once. That boy say, "But Hunter Lukey, boss." I like Hunter Lukey, man. Hunter Lukey not being used right. But let me go back to what I was finishing with. Appreciate the super chat. Because I wanted to finish this on respect. I put Mike on the thumbnail, man. Because how, if you're Micah, do you not feel disrespect? How? Let's just use our common sense. How? My boy Chris 214 say, Ferg didn't have to fight for an extension, but Micah, Dak, and CD does? Huh? Real talk. And then, hold on. My boy Lou. Where Lou at? Hold on. It's my boy Lou. He said, He said, I'm a man of patterns and science. Jake Ferguson paid after only one productive year and coming off injury. No resistance, no smear, skipping the line, no complaints of him being the top paid, no attempt to capture the headlines, just business. Noted. It's disrespectful, man. So, I'm just thankful to the Lord that I'm independent and I ain't got to worry about no job security. So I can speak my mind, bro. I ain't got to sugarcoat. I can
bring it real back. He be speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
And if I'm speaking my mind, this is wrong. This is wrong. It's wrong to smear your best players. It's wrong for Micah to be on a Hall of Fame level, have all the top talents come out and defend, and jeering them to act like they are the enforcers of fairness and culture to run out and secure Ferguson ahead of Micah. This sends the wrong message. This is wild. And sadly, Ferg is a good player. But when business is done wrong, it's hard to celebrate a good player getting paid. And it's disrespectful. So I asked the question, how does Michael feel likely going into the season? Unappreciated. How does Diggs feel going into the season? Unappreciated. How does Steele feel going into the season? Likely unappreciated. All your brothers got smeared. The brothers. You could have, because he could have used Zach Martin. But he didn't. The only thing they say about Zach Martin is that he held out. But they don't mention his injuries. They never smeared. They never talk about how he fell off. They never smear the white players, man. And then why now? It didn't make sense to do it now. You could have even gave us a couple of preseason games with pads. You ain't even do that. You paid him before the pads. In a deep tight end room. It makes no sense. So listen, man. It's your boss, show me. When you come here, you come to a place to where somebody go keep it real.
You want answers? You can't handle the truth.
And I'm going to keep it real.
You want answers? You can't handle the truth.
One of my brothers came in, he said he'd take his shirt off to defend Jerry and say he not racist. Jerry might not be racist. But you can't tell me that there's some type of game going on to where they're playing to probably what could be a racist base. It's feeding somebody red meat. Somebody getting red meat. I don't care what nobody say. So even if he ain't racist, he catering to them. You catering to them racists, man. When you only go after black players and use them as leverage against other contracts, and you never use the white players like that, I ain't gonna just act like I'm blind just because I want to support the Cowboys. I don't see nothing. Hey, go Cowboys. Yeah. Nah, hell nah. Again, you can go line by line. Did they ever use Romo negatively as leverage against another player? No. And Romo used to come in camp fat. And they never said, should we have paid Romo? Never. Zach Martin, Frederick, all of them. And Sean Lee was injury prone and they never used him as leverage against other players. They never used him like they did still. Nah. I'm not the cheerleader that's gonna sit back and just pom bias. This is bias. Your black fans should be offended. They should. And yeah, all of us should be scratching our heads, man. And this is, y'all listen, at some point it's gonna get time to start sending the message, bro. It's gonna get time to where it's like, bro, I'm not gonna financially support shit y'all doing as long as y'all make this pattern and keep this pattern clear that y'all always use the black players as leverage in the media. When you comfortably can say, did not say we would go as far as Romo. He never said that to Romo. Oh, my bad. Did not say we would go as far as Dak would take us. And you comfortably throw Dak under the bus, Micah under the bus, Steele under the bus, Diggs under the bus, and then we go sit over here, go Cowboys. Nah, bro, I'm not. Listen, at some point, it's going to be time to send a message to these boys. Like, nah, we spin too, brother. We spin. And I'm going to say it loud. Stop that shit. Stop just using black players as leverage. And when you trying to get their money down and you want to get a headline, let's go pull out the coloreds. Nah. Go make money off somebody else. Boss, show me, and that's my final word.